Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
Oh, baby. What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot here with you Monday night. That can only mean one thing. It is the Smoke Break, live on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. As you can see, another Monday night, another location. Last week, I was getting ready to head off to Texas. Look forward to telling you about my trip down there. Visited Jerry World. Got to step into perhaps what we could be looking forward to in Buffalo in a couple years as far as stadiums are concerned. Tonight, my studio's getting maintenance work done. There's screwdrivers, hammers, the whole nine going on over there. So tonight, I'm at the homestead, and I'll have a special guest joining me in a little bit. We're going to have some fun tonight. But before we do, this show, I view this show, I view sports, I view entertainment, obviously, as the escape from the day-to-day, the escape from reality, the thing we all look to as, I don't know. Sports to me has always been that escape. I guess that's the best way to put it. I always like to treat that, this show as that. And I've had plenty of people reach out before talking about how Buffalo Fanatics, our content, it's helped them get through some tough times. They look forward to it every week. And that means the world to me. And that, it also means a lot to me that I'm able to come on here and share the ability to be a Bills fan with you guys. And I've expressed that a million times. I can't start the show tonight without talking about the tragedy isn't even the word to use that happened this past weekend in Buffalo. And I won't spend much time on this because frankly, I'm shaking just thinking about it. It makes me sick. And two, people who carry out acts like this want you to give it attention. And I just won't do more than needed. But what I do want to say is what happened this past weekend is beyond evil. There's no word to summarize what happened in Buffalo this past weekend. The grocery store in which the incident occurred at is less than a mile down the road from two of my dearest friends in the whole world. There's so many people in Buffalo that I care about. Obviously, the team we all love is in Buffalo. The city in general, we all love Buffalo. And Buffalo is forever scarred from what happened this past weekend. And these occurrences happen far too frequently in this country. Far too frequently. And every time you see something like that happen, it makes you sick to your stomach. But it's a special type of sickness when it happens essentially in your own backyard. When you know that your buddies live a mile down the road. When you know that the community that you've spent weeks upon weeks of your life in, just knowing that I've driven by that area as many times as I have, it's the whole thing has me just sick. And like I said, when you hear about these circumstances, it makes you sick to begin with. But when you find out that it happened in your own neck of the woods, it makes you twice as sick. But what I will say is Buffalo is one of the strongest cities in the country. And there's a reason why the Bills fan base is as great as it is. And it's because it's made up of the Buffalo people. And Buffalo people they're some of the best people you'll find. Salt of the earth individuals. And that's what makes the fan base so great, the city so great. This act will not be the definition of what Buffalo is in the public eye. And it will not be defined by the inexplainable acts that happened this past weekend. The Buffalo people are already banding together in only a way that I think people from Buffalo could do. And from the celebrities we all know and love on the team, all the way down to the person who lives next door to you, everyone's banding together the way that you would expect people from Buffalo to do. And I just want to say for everybody affected, whether you're close to the situation or just happen to live in Buffalo and everybody in between, my thoughts go out to you. And I've been thinking a lot about this. And I know in these circumstances, all you can ever really say when you go to Twitter or Facebook or talk to somebody is you say thoughts and prayers, right? Because you don't know what else to say. What else can you say? 99.999 repeated % of people in this world can't make sense of what just happened. So there's no words to define it. But what I will say is Buffalo, unbelievably strong. The people, unbelievably strong. And I personally wanted to begin the show by saying that I am thinking of all the people affected tonight. I am thinking of the great city of Buffalo tonight. And that great city will overcome this inexplainable act of evil. And it's really tough to obviously transition into a show after this. And we'll do our best to do that, of course, because that's what this show and sports and entertainment are meant for. They're meant to be those escapes from the unbelievable things that we see, what seems to be far too frequently these days. So before we transition into the show, I just wanted to take a brief moment here, moment of silence, and I'll put up the banner here to kind of signify that. I unfortunately don't have anything custom off the cuff here, but I'm going to put up my graphic I started the show with, and if everybody would just join me in a moment of silence for the 10 people who tragically lost their lives this past weekend and all those affected. It's the least we can do to start the show. And like I said, we'll get into your standard smoke break after this, but there's no way I could start the show tonight without doing that. So if you would, join me in a brief moment of silence, and I'll see you right afterwards. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And with that said, I said I'd have a special guest tonight. I'm at the homestead. I just got back from Texas. like I mentioned, I haven't seen my dad since I got back. The schedule came out. Tom Brady's a goddamn announcer now. There's plenty to talk about, so I figured, hey, why not catch up with the old man live on the show? He's here. He's not doing anything but kicking back, having a beer. Mom's out of the house. The dog is shockingly being good right now.
Yes, he is.
So the old man hopping on the show tonight. We're going to talk schedule. We're going to talk Drew Brees potentially coming back. We're going to talk Tom Brady landing in a historical deal with Fox Sports. And we're going to talk about the next Bo Jackson, perhaps, Ken Griffey Jr., Josh Allen, the home run derby king. I want to get into that as well because that was incredible. But before I do, you didn't plug the mic in, did you?
I did, buddy.
Did you? Where's your little thing? My dad's got the lavalier mic on. This is high-tech stuff here. You want to know what? It's on me. I didn't turn up the volume.
Oh, you didn't turn it. See, you're blaming me.
Yeah, I did blame you, but he didn't turn the device on, the module.
To know that? Who's the tech guy?
There you go. I'm the tech guy. I oftentimes, as everybody on here knows, from time to time.
Yeah, you know what he does.
From time to time, things go haywire.
Down, or you're
yeah.
Good?
All right, try it on. Give it a turn.
How was it?
So yes, this is my dad, Pete Bell. If you're a loyal, longtime, original member of the Smoke Break crew, you have seen my dad on way back in the day. It's been a while.
It's been too long, buddy.
There you go. So it's a little echoey. I apologize, but we're making the most of it, obviously. And let's start with before we get into the schedule, because I want to go through the entire schedule. I want to start with a video that came out yesterday, and in light of everything that happened in Buffalo over the weekend, it was awesome to see that Micah Hyde's softball charity event happened this past week. And I had a really good buddy of mine from Buffalo attend the event. And he had said it was just an awesome community builder after, something like that. Everybody came out, had a great time. Almost every big name from the Bills was there, including Josh Allen. So I'm scrolling Instagram the other day. I'm going to pull this up right now. I'm scrolling Instagram yesterday. And all of a sudden, I'm just going through the stories, mindlessly. And I come across, what is going on here? I come across this video. It's Josh Allen's taking the plate. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I didn't even know this event was going on. I was away for the week. I was in Texas. I didn't know what the hell was going on here. So I'm like, okay, the whole gang seemingly is at this charity event, and I cannot for the life of me get this video up, of course. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get at here, I guess, suppose.
Tech
guy. Did you see the video of Josh Allen hitting the home run?
Yeah.
You did. So your original thoughts.
So what I want to know is, was that the first pitch?
What first pitch?
Was that the first pitch? Did he just get a ball thrown? I mean, he like twirled around, nailed that, twirled around, and he knew it was gone. I don't even think he looked at the ball.
He did a spinorama, like a pirouette, if you will, and it was one of the greatest things I've ever laid my eyes on. Quite honestly,
was it a softball or a baseball?
It was a softball.
Yeah.
Now I'm assuming
that's even more incredible to do that with a softball than it is with a baseball.
If you notice in the video, and I'm trying my best to pull it up here right now because you got to see it, obviously, and of course isn't doing nearly what I wanted to do. But if you notice at the 2-second mark of the video, the ball disappears. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was absolutely incredible. And you think to yourself, the guy is just he's an all-around talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to buy time here while I log into this thing. Go ahead and riff for me for a second, Dad. Tell the folks what you've been up to recently. You just went to my sister's graduation, and it was great. But they did a rendition of a song that I was listening to on the YouTube Live.
It's an ancient Dutch song.
You want to sing it for him, or I don't want you to sing it? I
would, but I wouldn't do justice to the song, so I won't.
It was one of the most vile things I've ever heard in my life.
Live, it was fantastic. So I don't know what you're talking about. It must have been on the feed. You weren't there.
So you really had to be there.
You had to be there. Yeah. It was I do remember it was an ancient Dutch themed song, and it was inspiring.
You know what? I'm going to download the video. Because you got to see this. It's seeing is believing.
You guys that haven't seen it, it's and I thought that was like, what wasn't live. I didn't know that was going on either. So it was.
You know what, folks, we're scrambled up here. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to put the banner back up. I'm going to move the mic over here because that thing sounds like crap. I'm going to move the mic over here. We're going to split this bad boy, and then we're going to get off to a better start here because this is all over the place. Give me 1 second. Woof. Apologies. Just unexplained. Just bad. I did find the video, though. I found the video. So before we get into it, I don't know if I tweeted it. And by the way, it just goes to show you how much everybody loved this video. It's got over 250,000 views on the video I tweeted. And it's Josh Allen hitting this ball. 250,000 views. The Barstool guys picked it up. They tweeted it. I'm seeing it everywhere. And everybody's saying the exact same thing. And it's either I'm so thankful this guy's my quarterback, or it's opposing fan bases essentially saying, I just have to come and pay respect to the fact that Josh Allen might be the coolest athlete on the face of the planet right now. I don't even think it's a maybe at this point. I mean, the guy is just dominating on all facets. So here we go. Here it is. Finally, I got it up and boom, there it is. Let me try and do a full screen here if I can. Yeah. So the crowd's going absolutely ballistic. I mean, look at this. Look at the swag on this guy. So it starts quick here, but watch. He's up at the plate. Boom. I mean, give me a break. And if you notice, right after he makes contact with the ball, it's gone. I mean, the thing is in orbit. And I've watched this probably 10 to 20,000 times by now, trying to decipher where the ball goes. I've come to like three conclusions. It either hit a meteor somewhere, it was discovered by alien life form, or it just evaporated in thin air. It will go down as one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And the ultimate thing that you take away from this,
just look at him walking away from it, though. Look at him. Look at the swag, like you said. Look at.
The ultimate thing you take away from this is you look at this, and it always comes back to this for me, and I talk about this all the time. But you look back at just the way things were, and to know that guy is leading the team right now, effortlessly cool to the point where like you couldn't be him if you tried. He's got like 30, or I don't want to say 30,000. I don't know how many thousands of people are there, but you just walk up. The guy's a football player. He takes the bat, and he puts that thing on the moon. He puts that ball on the moon and walks off like he just picked up some meat from the deli and he's heading back to another aisle. I mean, the guy is just a legend, a walking legend at this point. And the fact that is the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, just, I don't know. It really makes you, it really warms your heart. You know what I mean?
It's good stuff. No doubt about it.
John Herring coming and saying he caught that ball in California. John, I know you're lying because there's no way that it landed in California. It went
It's still flying.
Way past the West Coast. There's no way that thing only went to California. But I'm scrolling yesterday and I look at that thing and I had to watch it like 5-6 times before I really comprehended. I thought he had just kind of like swung, maybe missed it and played it off cool, which I mean, I guess even then would have been fine the way he played it off. Then I watched it again and I look at the ball and the thing it's in the clouds. And the only thing I could take away from it right then and there is that was one of the slickest, smoothest, all around coolest things I've seen in a long time.
Did we find out, has Josh ever played ball?
So somebody tweeted me earlier, and I got to fact check this. And mind you, I tweeted this video. It broke my Twitter. Every time I checked my notifications, I'd have to kill the app and then go back in again because it wouldn't load. It was freezing my phone up so bad because of the amount of people watching it and retweeting it and whatever the hell else. But somebody tweeted Josh Allen's batting average from Fireball, and it was almost he was almost batting 500.
So he did play.
Supposedly
in high school. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now think about the golf swing coming up.
Bingo.
So
pause on that. By the way, we're saving that. We're saving
right,
but I know what you're talking about.
What's the date on that? That's June. That's
I got a surprise coming up for you at the end of the show. I told you last week I'd have some really big news for you coming up at the end of the month here, and that's next week. But you make a good point because I posted this on my Twitter video before. I've been in person with Josh Allen and I've watched him golf, and he had one of the purest, most fluid, buttery golf swings I've ever seen. On the golf simulator, I think it read 750 yards. And you look at it, and then that's a great point you bring up. Actually, you think of the golf swing, you think of the bat swing.
Well, it just reminded me of he just came up, boom.
And then the one throw I always think of with him too. Remember the Jags game we were at early in his career? He's getting sacked. Everybody remembers this play, I'm sure. He's getting sacked, and next thing you know, the ball just goes above the line of scrimmage, and it goes about 75 yards down the field. That was the first time I think we realized what that arm was going to wind up being. But I guess at the end of the day, what you realize here is the guy is just good at everything. He's good at absolutely everything. And when you watch that video in particular, I think the one thing that you take away from it is he not like I've talked about this before. He's becoming the face of the league. He's becoming the role model within sports. And it's just a little thing like that where it's just like, that's why. That right there is why the guy is so loved. And he does it so effortlessly. A lot of these guys, and this is what Josh Allen isn't. He almost never tweets. He barely posts anything online or whatever else. And we know by now he doesn't have a ton of commercial deals. Those are coming. But the way he's been able to build his presence almost, just being a really just a guy. He doesn't have to be anything other than himself. He doesn't have to constantly clamor to be in the spotlight. The spotlight just finds him. Well, that right there is a perfect example.
That's why I'm looking so forward to those guys being mic'd up, him and Mahomes and Brady.
I can't wait. Yeah. We're 2 weeks away from that.
And I think that'll be great for him too. It'll get people to get to know him better and us too. I mean, you see him on the commercials and things and stuff, like you said, those are coming.
I haven't been home in over a week. I'm glad you set the thermostat in here at 85 degrees. If you notice,
what are you talking about?
I mean, granted, I don't have my six pack is kind of covered up by some stuff.
There?
So,
why don't you take your shirt off?
Well, I would do that, but I don't want to. Josh, you think Josh Allen's video broke the internet? Wait till I take the shirt off.
We'll do the show shirt. Well, that'll be next time. We'll go shirtless next time.
Well, we'd have to open up our OnlyFans if we wanted to do the show shirtless.
It's too much. OnlyFans.
I know. There's plenty of people in these comments right now who'd pay a hefty dollar to see the boys over here take the shirts off and do some Bills talk.
We can talk about. You want me to open a window there, Chief?
We'll consider it. No, we're past the point of return.
Right. Okay.
See, this is what
technical difficulties. You're overheating.
Technical difficulties. My body temperature is at a cool 110 degrees.
Folks, it's the pressure of having to do the show with the old man right on his shoulders.
Well,
he can feel me breathing on him, and he's cracking.
Well, it's not only that, but it's the pressure of the phone doesn't work in the beginning. You can't get the goddamn video up.
Yeah.
And then your mic craps out, and I just start sweating profusely.
It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Not to call out Clay Troy and my man Clay from Buffalo Fanatics, but I felt good. We talked about this once, him and I, when we were together, and he made me feel good. He's like, "Dude, when I'm on live, I just start sweating my ass off." I go, you know what? Same
sweat, I'd imagine, right?
So if you're wondering, that's why I'm redder than Elmo right now.
Completely fine. I'm not sweating.
Well, I think you're in significantly better health than me too. Yeah, that's probably that. I think that's got a lot to do with it.
Shit, I think you're right.
That might have a little bit.
Hey, all those wings, the Frito wings or whatever, the fire wings, and man,
that shit catches up to you.
We're gonna get out. We're gonna start
When you think about it, though, I mean, we're sharing a mic here. The whole thing is just an absolute abomination right now.
I'm not smelling anything yet. Thank God the folks can't smell. I'll keep you posted if something comes up, but everything's good on that end.
Well, yeah, we'll get there when the Smell-O-Vision launches on YouTube.
Man.
You guys are in for a real treat.
I don't want it.
All right, so I had to kick the show off with that because, like I said, that's probably the coolest thing I've seen in a very long time. But that's just a little cool thing to start the show off with. The meat of the sandwich today. The schedule's out, baby, and just to give you a glimpse into how gigantic it is just to have the schedule out. Did anybody even care that the NBA playoffs were on Thursday night or whatever it was when the schedule came out?
3 networks, right? Huh?
It's on. Yeah, the schedule comes out. And once again, to just back up the point I make constantly, the NFL has become larger than life. It is life. You drop the schedule and it's like it's beating Doctor Strange 2 box office numbers in the movie at the movie theater. And the schedule comes out. And see, back in the day, and this is what's crazy about it. I remember I used to lose my shit when I saw the Bills got a Thursday night primetime game against the Jets. And remember when we went, and one of the first ones that they had, in a long time, you and I went. It was in New York, and I'm sure you guys remember fondly. Zay Jones caught the touchdown. He did the lightsaber dance, and then the Jets kicked the crap out of the Bills, and they danced in the end zone near us.
Buffalo was having a good season, right?
Yeah,
and it completely turned it the other way. They got their ass kicked. That was the one where they're at MetLife. You're talking about
MetLife, yeah,
they're dancing.
Yeah, we drove all the way out there for that. Yeah, we were in the end zone. They danced.
It's awful. What's his name? Fireman, whatever. He's up over.
Oh, Fairweather Fireman Ed.
Yeah. He came back after 4 years.
Yeah, Fireman Ed decided to come back when the Jets actually were threatening a winning record. I know that's rare in New Jersey, but that's when Fireman Ed decided to show back up.
Yeah, it was awful.
But there was a good friend of mine down in New York at the time, if you remember. He was at the game. He wanted to meet up. I refused. I absolutely refused to see him.
Yeah.
Because the Jets were dancing in the end zone. To put a bow on that, what I'm saying is how far we've come, where I was excited to drive to New Jersey, and I hate MetLife. I'm on record saying that. It's the worst tailgate experience in the NFL that I've ever been.
It's nice.
The stabilim's
nice. Everything around it. Yeah, the
tailgate's terrible.
Listen, people, do you know how lucky we are that, it's just, listen, I've been going to these games forever, but how lucky we are to have the experience that we're able to have at these Bills games.
I think we all take it for granted.
If you guys travel around, and I'm sure there's some that are, whatever, better than others, obviously, but
I don't know. It doesn't get better than that.
Nothing beats a Bills.
And I mean, I think it's also the elements too. Like, we're big Penn State fans, so we go to Happy Valley. We try to go once a year, but it's been a while. But the cool thing about Beaver Stadium in Penn State, it's all farmland around there. So I think there's something about being in a plot of grass.
You go to.
It brings out.
It's true. You go to these stadiums. I mean, that are downtown and everything's everything's blacktop and parking garages. It's not the same. It's not the same vibe. It's a different. Totally different. So you're right, having some space and having.
Well, what is it about being in a plot of land with liquor that brings out the most animalistic instinct within a human being?
You go wherever you got to go. It's the freedom of doing what do.
Well, we were at the Jets game in a parking lot and we're drinking moonshine with people from Buffalo. The guy made it in his bathtub.
Yeah.
And I didn't even catch a buzz because I'm standing in a parking lot.
They were. In leading up to the game, there's nobody there.
No, there's of course there's nobody there. Nobody wants to go watch that shit.
It's the Jets, but everybody's taking the subway in, and it just there's nobody in the parking lot. I don't know.
It's terrible.
It was awful.
It's absolutely god awful.
Then we went to the Giants game a few days later. Remember, it was a Sunday.
Oh yeah, the Giants Rams, a game worth watching.
Thursday night and a Sunday. Yeah, that game was over by half.
Todd Gurley had 450 yards on the ground, I think, that day. We went with 2 good buddies of mine, a really big Rams fan and a big Giants fan. And it was hilarious because my good buddy now, as we call him, Negative for reasons which I'll get into right now. He didn't speak the whole day, and our Rams buddy's just having the time of his life.
Yeah.
But to tie this up, this little rant here about how awful the MetLife Stadium tailgate experience is. I was so excited to go and be a part of that because it was the only primetime game the Bills had all year. When you saw it on the schedule, it was basically like getting, the gift you wanted for Christmas. The schedule comes out last week. It wasn't a matter of, are the Bills going to get a primetime game? It wasn't a matter of, are they going to get multiple? It was a guarantee the Bills were going to get 5 primetime games. It was just a matter of who are they going to be against, where are they going to be, and when are they going to be? And right off the bat, we get what I think this is. If you want an example of the pinnacle of being must-watch television, and I was listening to Pro Football Talk the other day. Peter King put this perfectly. Bills-Rams, obviously, if you don't know by now, spoiler alert, and I don't know what the hell you've been doing. Bills-Rams kicking the season off. Thursday night football, that's how the season begins. The Bills travel to SoFi Stadium to take on the reigning champs. The ratings for that game are usually, they're going to be higher than almost any other game during the season because everybody and their mother and their grandmother and whoever the hell else are tuning in for the first night of football. I don't care if the Jaguars are playing the Jets. You're going to be watching it. It makes it a hell of a lot better when you got a game like we do. It makes it even a hell of a lot even more better when your team's playing in it like the Bills are. But you'll look at this game in particular, and Peter King made a great point. This game is the ultimate opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to go from a massive team in the market in which we all live in, or the majority of us live in. They can go from being a massive, draw on the East Coast to being a massive national draw. They have already tested those waters several times. We've seen the ratings the Bills get on Thanksgiving and their primetime games. This is a whole new ball game. You're kicking the year off in a game that could be a potential Super Bowl preview. And the way he put it, I thought was great. The Bills go out and dominate in that game or play really well. Josh Allen goes off, Bills win. You're talking about the Bills transitioning from a team that nobody cared about outside of Western New York to a team now where you're going to be seeing Bills fans walking around Northern Idaho or South Dakota because they get to watch them now 5 times a year and they're must-see television.
It's making me nervous now. I love it. And I also hate it. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
But that underdog role, it's gone. So now everybody loves the Bills. The media loves the Bills. The nation loves the fan base, loves
it goes back to the Josh Allen swing in the bat. Like, what's not to love about what's going on here?
It's great, but it's also it's so different. I mean, back in the 90s, it was the Super Bowl run. It was a lot like this, but the exposure now is obviously it's blown up to everything about everybody, and there's video and there's so it's just so cool to see them. On commercials, there's clips of Bills players, which
Josh Allen's in every promo video the NFL has.
And we went, I remember we talk about it. They'd show a commercial for the NFL. And there's never a Bills player ever for all those years.
It's all I wanted. I would wake up before school hoping the Bills highlights from the day before would make the program, the highlights.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And now it's just, and I know I talk about this all the time. I can't get enough of it. And I think the reason I talk about it so much, the bar continues to raise. The Bills, I think the Bills, their real coming out party was that win against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It just kind of felt like that. You know what I mean?
Well, primetime, they do well. They don't win every game, but they're always really, I'm trying to think of a game.
That game, though, the Bills weren't yet what we consider them to be right now. They weren't the top team in the league. I mean, let's put it bluntly. But they went out and rolled the Cowboys, and Josh Allen made 4 or 5 plays that the NFL has never even seen before. I mean, when he fumbled that snap and leaped everybody on the field to get that first down, I think everybody in America watching that game was like, who the hell is this guy? And then it went off from there. You've gone from that to now you're opening up the season. You have 5 primetime games, and all 5 games are going to, we're going to get into it here. But these 5 games in particular, not even including another Thanksgiving game, which is just going to be, that's going to be a comedy hour. I cannot think of a better way to spend a day with family and food and booze and just having a good time on a holiday than watching the Bills absolutely bend the Lions over a barrel.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's going to be incredible.
It better be fun. I'll tell you that much. Because it's during, typically Thanksgiving, you eat a little early, 3:00-ish, whatever. So hopefully by
that's a perfect time.
Yeah, we're we're partying and enjoying all of it. I don't see how that couldn't be a thing. But having the Bills play Thanksgiving it's incredible. And we're going. This is the third time?
Yep, they had the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Last year it was an odd game against the Saints.
Yeah.
It was just odd. Kamara wasn't playing. They were banged up. The Saints
were bad.
Bills kind of played slow in that game. They ran away with it late. That was the primetime game. And I think there was just a lot less hype because the quarterback situation for the Saints was in the dumpster at that point of the season. Kamara was hurt. Michael Thomas wasn't playing. The Saints were bad. And I think, when you saw that game to open up the year, you were like, oh, that's exciting. The Saints have potential. It didn't wind up being the case. You circle this game in particular. I know we were talking about week one. Now we're on Thanksgiving. But I think the reason you circle this game is for the reasons we were just talking about. And that is you go into Thanksgiving, not only just looking forward to the holiday in itself and all that comes with it, but you're not going into that day thinking, is there a potential for the Bills to lay an egg here and ruin my holiday? There's just no way. It's just going to be a matter of how many points can they score.
I'm finally, which is scary, breaking away from the 20-year bullshit where I just was waiting for them to blow the lead in the fourth quarter, the whatever, their 14-point lead. I'm almost done with that.
In a weird way, the Chiefs game really made you. I remember you in particular. The Chiefs game really made you. That kind of eliminated that for you, even though they lost. Because there was any other Bills team in the past would have lost that game 7 times over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but it's just it's a whole different dynamic there now. Those years were rough. I mean, we all went through it. I mean, you were just, you were a kid, but you never knew any winning until you're, recently here. So it's just, to be where and listen, anything can happen. Everybody's got to stay healthy. I mean, we take for granted that the way Josh Allen plays, that he's got to stay upright. So hopefully everything else will fall into place. But that's what makes him so good. So you got to enjoy I'm just so pumped for that Thursday nighter. I can't wait.
Joel Bourne over here has got a day plan already. He's going deer hunting in the morning. He's coming home. He's pounding beer, and then he's going to watch the Bills win.
Yeah. Nothing better. Kill some deer.
Young King coming in here saying any given Sunday, and I get that. We did watch the Bills lose to Urban Meyer last year, which I think will always go down as one of the most tragic losses in this franchise's history, and I firmly believe that. The way that the year ended for Jacksonville and just the utter disgrace Urban Meyer was to the National Football League, that really was I'll never forget that. So you're right, Young King, but also you're not, because the Bills are not losing on the national stage to the Lions. And if they do, we got way bigger things to worry about at that point in the year. If the Bills are losing on the national stage to the Lions in November, I got a feeling our expectations have been tampered at that point. But you're right, any given Sunday to a degree, I just cannot possibly imagine that happening.
I mean, anything can happen, but you don't want. I mean, that was a. I still don't know how the hell that game happened. Looking back at that game, I mean, Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen, right?
Oh my God,
Jesus, he outplayed the shit out of everybody.
He was looking like, I don't know. Insert the best defensive player ever here. I mean, that was unbelievable.
I remember being wildly pissed after that game.
Well, it was also the most boring game to ever be played on a football field.
Awful. Yeah. No weather, no nothing. It just was a bad game, which is one of those games. And listen, that's why we watch. That's why sports are so great, man. That's why you watch, because like the dude just said, any given Sunday, that's why we watch. But better not be.
He's with you though on the.
Better not be on Thanksgiving.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I kind of came around to it last year. The Jags lost a little bit because it seemed like every single team in the league had at least one dud. It was weird. Like it was almost like it was clockwork last year. Every single team had a god awful loss. That was the Bills, obviously, and we know that wasn't who they were and isn't who they are. I remember in that game in particular, they tried to run the hell out of the ball and it just wasn't working. They could not move the ball at all. But the reason that game frustrated me more than anything was just because Urban Meyer won. I mean, that was one of the only games he'll ever wind up winning, ever again, unless Fox apparently rehires him, which is Fox is they're taking on it. Those reports are out.
Really?
Yeah, they're looking into rehiring him. And that's what sparked there's a whole thing going on in Jacksonville right now. Shad Khan, the older owner of Jacksonville, came out and flat out called out Fox Sports. How could you dare consider hiring this guy? Oh, yeah. And there's a whole lawsuit going on in Jacksonville right now. It's a disaster.
These networks sometimes the way they
No, we'll get into that in a bit because Fox is hey, they're rolling the dice and I'll tip the cap, but that's a whole other topic of conversation.
I was hoping when he leaves, I was hoping he'd be gone. Now,
wait, who? Oh,
Brady.
Oh, we will get into that. Yeah. We will get into that. I still haven't wrapped my head around it. But let's continue on into the schedule here. I back to the original point. Opening up the season is just an incredible feat to me. I think it's unbelievable. And I was listening to some reports about the way the schedule works and stuff like that. And typically the way that the NFL used to do it, they would throw any game in on the opening docket with the Super Bowl champion. It would basically be a throwaway game for the reasons I mentioned earlier. Because even if it was Jacksonville playing the Jets, you're going to watch it. It's the first NFL game of the year. It doesn't matter who's playing. So they would have the Super Bowl champion play a crap team on their schedule to get it out of the way and also boost the ratings while saving the better game for later in the year for another primetime slot. But what they realized last year when the Buccaneers played the Cowboys to open the season, the ratings were so astronomical, they figured we've set the precedent. We either have to hit that mark or outdo it, or we're starting the season off on the wrong foot compared to last year. So they look at this particular situation, and you look at what the Bills have going on right now, the current Super Bowl favorite. You look at what the Rams do last year, win the Super Bowl. Von Miller's reunion with the Super Bowl champion. The whole thing is next level. Plus,
they're getting smarter with that. I mean, the first Monday night game, Denver, Seattle.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's so obvious, but they never would do it. But now they're putting again these dream matchups, with all the scenarios and everything that goes with it, which is
well, the crazy thing is too, to that point, if you go through right now and look at every single primetime game, there isn't a single one that you don't look at and say that's must see. Not only with the Bills, I'm talking everybody. I mean, we got
tons of great games,
unbelievable games throughout the year.
Good, especially the AFC. There's so many good teams.
You could primetime every single AFC West game and not lose every single one of them. But the Bills kicked the year off against the Rams, and that win or lose, as long as it's a good game, because obviously the Bills. We're not expecting anybody to run the table here. I think the Bills are a better team flat out than the Rams, truly, at this point. I think the roster is just better, period. But I think either way, no matter how that game goes, to kick the year off that way is a big step for this franchise, this fan base, whatever you want to say. You look at it, though, in the potential of what it could be. The Bills play the Rams opening night prime time, but they parlay that into their home opener against the Titans, who we have a rivalry with the Titans now. It's kind of appeared out of nowhere. I wouldn't say the Bills' rivalry with the Titans. I mean, you could say the Music City Miracle, and that's where it stemmed, but it wasn't really a rivalry. The last few years, this has become
they've been great games,
a major game on the NFL docket. And what you're seeing now is the potential for the Bills to set the bar this year out of the gate. You go into this season, the Bills are going into this season right now with the highest expectations they've ever had. And they've had massive expectations the last couple of seasons. The Bills are coming into this season. Right now, every single game has betting odds already set for it. And of course, they change throughout the year. But right now in this moment, the Bills are not an underdog in a single game this entire season. According to Vegas, the Bills are supposed to go 17-0 at this moment in time. The Bills are not an underdog in any game. Think about how crazy this is.
What's the spread right now, opening night?
It opened up Bills -1. So think about it like this.
Okay.
The Bills on the road in primetime against the Super Bowl champs, favorites. I mean, that right there, you don't need any other shred of evidence. Yeah. You don't need any other example other than that to show you what the expectations are for Buffalo. If you come into the season and you win that game, you go home, it's going to be an absolute mob scene in Buffalo.
That's an early start, 7:15?
Yeah, it's a doubleheader that night.
Yeah.
7:15 start, doubleheader Monday night.
Love it.
I just want everybody here to picture this. Bills kick the season off there 0-2. You better look the hell out. because those expectations that have been set, the Super Bowl favorites, according to Vegas, not being an underdog, everybody talking about the Bills being the best team in the league. That pressure is there 100%.
But the thing is, this team, they thrive on it. They can handle that pressure. And
yes. So to be able to kick the year off that way,
2-0 to start, you imagine?
The confidence level would be absolutely through the roof.
2-0, they might not lose till I don't know. I don't know when. But
you take that into Miami.
How huge those first two games are.
They're massive.
So the pressure comes for them, but it also comes for us as fans. That pressure. So I'm going to be. You know how we get.
Well, and you can say the same.
It's going to be so fun. I mean, that Thursday night game, like you said, no matter who it is, you're always excited. Everybody's excited. Who isn't watching? The whole. It's the only game on. The whole country's watching. So to have our boys playing in it and potentially, like you said, imagine if they show out and do really, really well, right? Beat them by 10 plus. I mean, my God. And then go into all the confidence. 11 days rest, right?
That's the other thing.
Going into the Monday nighter against Tennessee.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to touch on it. The Bills actually, according to this, they do like data analytics based on how the schedule plays out and as far as rest time is concerned. The Bills actually have one of it. I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to quote.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. They have either one of, if not the most rest out of any team in the entire league this whole season.
They also don't play a team coming off a bye the whole year.
That's true. That's a good point. I saw that as well. Yep.
For whatever, it's.
And if you think that doesn't matter, think about this.
It matters.
The Chiefs don't play a team that didn't have a winning record. Or excuse me, let me rephrase that. The first 8 games of the season for the Chiefs, every single game is against an opponent that had higher than a winning record last season. I think
this is the year you see the Chiefs kind of, and of course last year everybody thought, the first 6-7 games in, the Chiefs. But I think this is the year where we see them take that step back. I mean, Tyreek Hill, people aren't talking about that enough, how huge of a lot. The fact that they didn't want, who knows what was going on internally there, but the fact that they did, my God, that guy's speed, I'm pissed he's with Miami, but
great point.
It's a bad loss for them.
The NFL also tells you, and back to the point you're talking about with Miami and just kind of how you can really tell what the NFL thinks about how a team's going to do in a given year. You think the Broncos would have 5 primetime games if Russell Wilson wasn't the quarterback this season?
No doubt.
So they think the Bills are going to be,
and they're scary too now.
Oh, they're beyond scary.
Denver's scary too now.
There are 12 teams.
He is going to be resurrected there. I think you're going to see him.
Who?
Russell.
Oh, I agree.
Right.
He was beyond underutilized.
Denver was teetering. I think that's a huge piece of their puzzle, obviously getting in there.
The NFL shows you who they think the cream of the crop is based on who they schedule in these primetime games, obviously. But this year, it seems like more than ever, there's so many good teams that they had to plug them all in. There are 12 of the 32 teams that have 5 primetime games this season.
What's up with that?
It's crazy.
I saw that.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think the even crazier thing is when you look into the teams that made moves that you would think would project them into primetime games, and they didn't. And what that tells you is the NFL doesn't trust them to be good enough in order to hold their weight ratings-wise in these primetime games. And I know I give them crap all the time, and there's people who say, oh, well, they've gotten a lot better. You should definitely be wary of them. The Miami Dolphins have made some incredible moves in this offseason. The NFL does not trust the Miami Dolphins to hold their weight in primetime. They're not one of those teams that I think they only have 2 or 3. So with the acquisition of Tyreek Hill and all the moves that Miami was able to make to really put their team into a spot that I think makes them on paper look good, what the NFL is telling you is we cannot put Tua Tagovailoa in primetime and expect people to want to tune in and watch that. So what you're seeing now is every team that got these 5 primetime games is every single team that you look at and say, oh my God, we're watching that, right?
Well, that's the point of
that's,
it.
But that's the
so
beauty
many good teams. When's the last time there were that many teams that had that many primetime games?
I'd have to look it up. I don't think it's ever happened.
Typically it was 4 or 5.
Well, you also have the extra game now.
True.
So that also adds a whole new element where you're able to plug all these teams in.
NFC has the extra game this year, right? AFC got it last year, I think.
The extra primetime game?
No, the extra game.
Every team's got an extra game.
The extra home game.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
NFC.
Yeah.
I think NFC.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. The they really try to show you, and it's crazy because when you look at like big markets, the Jets, for instance, look, you got to tip your cap, and I've talked about this. The Jets had an incredible draft, and they're really, building the foundation to be a lot better than they've been in recent years. They're not going to be on primetime. They're only twice.
Prove different. Right. That they can't, not screw it up. But their draft was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know you talked about it, and it really was. I'm watching it. Oh, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're picking up guys, but, until they can prove that they're not going to screw it up, it doesn't mean anything. So who knows? Right? Can you imagine if all of a sudden the Jets come out of the gate?
Well, they'll flex it. They'll have to.
These rookies come in and they start kicking ass. Could you imagine?
The other thing that I found very interesting before we get into more talk about the Bills schedule in general, I wanted to talk about, just kind of the schedule and a broad view, because all these things matter. One team on the schedule for the Bills that is a very interesting game to me because we have no idea what's going to go into it until we wind up finding out what happens with Deshaun Watson. The NFL has told you they told you we don't even know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. 2 primetime games for the Browns. That's it. And when you look at the Browns roster and you look at Deshaun Watson, you're thinking that's a team that deserves 5 primetime games. But what it's telling you, they don't, in my opinion at least, they don't feel comfortable putting that situation in primetime. And I completely agree with it. You don't want to put that into the spotlight, right?
The fact that nothing's been done with that, and Mayfield is still just hanging out there.
That is a whole other thing. I can't believe that.
It's the way you almost forget about it. You forget that Mayfield's even on the roster.
And I've talked about it on here. At first, I still think Baker's severely in the wrong for several reasons. But at this point, Baker's getting absolutely taken for a ride by the Cleveland organization. It's ridiculous what they're doing to Baker Mayfield at this point. At this point. Oh, it is. But they're still holding on to him.
Yeah.
I would have bet the house he would have been gone by the time the draft came.
I don't think anybody wanted him.
They're holding him around because they have no clue who the hell is starting at quarterback when that season starts.
But let's say Watson gets a 6-game suspension. So you're going to put Mayfield in with that attitude? You imagine? God, that would be some serious.
He won't do it. He would. You think a guy like him would put that jersey back on? He's got too much pride, that kid. But what I noticed with the Cleveland Browns only having 2 primetime games, I think that there is an extreme possibility that Deshaun Watson is suspended this entire season. Trevor Bauer in the MLB was suspended 2 full seasons recently. He's a massive star in the MLB. He was suspended 2 full seasons just recently for similar issues. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that the Browns end up suspending Deshaun Watson for an entire season. And I think that that's one of the reasons why they decided to leave them off the primetime docket more than you would think that they would wind up getting based on what their roster
Makes
is.
Sense.
I'm seeing that my Wi-Fi symbol here is absolutely pissed. So if that's coming in bad, I apologize. Like I said, the Wi-Fi here is being affected by the fact that it's 95 degrees in this house. Potentially, I think the router's melting.
I'm going to open a window.
I'm going
to open a freaking window.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. All right, so let's keep diving in here to the schedule. So first 2 games, prime time, and I can't think of a better way that any team ever could start a season. I mean, it's as good as it gets, right? You take that game from the Monday night game against the Titans. You take that into a road game in Miami. If you know me, you know I'm on record saying I think the Bills sweep the division this year. That's where I'm at with it until I'm proven otherwise. I don't see a team in that division who's beating the Bills unless they have an off day or the Bills beat themselves. So the potential to start 3-0 is very real. Another game in week 4 that I think is one of the more interesting games on the schedule that isn't very obvious is the Ravens. I am very interested to see how the Ravens bounce back after a year last year that was just one of the most destructive a team has ever had as far as injuries are concerned. I'm also very concerned about the situation that Baltimore finds themselves in on offense. I just don't see where the weapons lie right now for this team to compete with a team like the Bills. So, yeah, I mean, on paper, the Ravens game could be difficult, and I think the Ravens are going to be back into playoff contention this year for sure. But when I'm looking at this schedule, right, and I'm seeing the first 5 games up until the Chiefs game, they're all, I mean, obviously everything's winnable. But what we were talking about earlier, if you kick the year off 2-0, There's no way in my mind you could win those 2 games and then lose those next 3 based on how you play.
Those 2 games are so critical. And quite frankly, the first game is like you said, with how do they handle, because again, they're the better team.
Well, the other crazy thing here is
Buffalo on whatever paper on the field, they're the better team. So
of course,
what are you going to do? Do you know what I mean?
But
listen, we were there last year, Pittsburgh, opening day. Like, holy shit.
I wanted to jump off the top of the stadium.
It
was so bad. It was so bad.
But then again, the thing is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But in this role here, starting hot, winning that first game, taking it into the second game, you go 2-0 here with this schedule and the way this is set up.
Yep.
Look the hell out.
We have to be fair, though, and talk about putting the shoe on the other foot. And it goes both ways. If the Bills lay an egg in both these games to kick the year off, things could go downhill extremely quick. I mean, look at this schedule here. And I know we've talked about this before, but I mean, ultimately, when you look at this schedule in totality here, it is a gauntlet of a schedule, the teams the Bills are facing here. You cannot afford to go anything but 1-1 to start this year off. You simply can't. You cannot lose both those primetime games. It cannot happen. 2-0 propels you into another stratosphere. 0-2 puts you, I mean, the expectations the Bills had to kick the year off, they're gonzo. Gonzo if that happens.
0-2 takes the next 3 weeks to make that up. Do you know what I mean? You almost got to win.
I don't even think that would happen. Look at those 3 games. No one's buying
games
back in. You'd have to beat the Chiefs in order to buy it back.
Yeah.
You'd have to run the table here before the bye week. You'd have to. So I look at these first. Got to split. You have to.
To me, start 2-0. Look the hell out. I mean, I really think this team will roll if they start 2-0.
I like to be realistic. I do, because it sets the standard for me going into the year to where I'm not like, if I look at this and get myself way too in depth or way too embedded into a thought that like when the bill, like everybody was, like when you're so embedded into a thought process and it doesn't wind up happening. Rico with Brees Hall, me crying my eyes out when I was convinced the Bills were going to the Super Bowl with 13 seconds left, as I'm sure 99% of you were. I can't look at this and tell myself it's 6-0. It very well could be. But I'm thinking realistically here, 4-2 would not be a bad start at all with the way the season kicks off.
No. I mean, those are some – I mean, they're all – Pittsburgh will be interesting to see what – I mean, you know they're going to bring – they're always going to – they're so well coached. Do you know what I mean? And depending on who their quarterback is going to be, I think Pittsburgh's better.
Pittsburgh's definitely better today. Even if it's Mitch Trubisky, it doesn't matter if it's Mitch Trubisky or if it's Kenny Pickett. They're better today.
Will be there.
Absolutely.
So you're looking at those first, I mean, shit. Then you got Green Bay coming in after the bye. I mean, those first 7.
That's a hell of a run to start the year off.
Those first 7 games, man. And then look at it. The rest.
That bye week to me comes at a great time.
First 7 games are huge.
That bye week comes at a great time because you're
and you got a whole week to prepare for Green Bay,
right?
At home.
But what were the 2 games? If anybody had the opportunity to circle, let's say you had the opportunity to circle 5 games, like I did last week when I talked about what I thought would be the primetime games. You know, you get the opportunity, you circle 5 games that stand out to you. 2 of them undoubtedly were the Chiefs game, of course, and the Packers game. You look at the way the schedule lies, you get the buy-in between that, which I think is great. Yeah. You take on the Chiefs after what is more favorable towards the Bills than the first 2 games are, obviously. You take on the Chiefs in a 425 game, which is crazy. I mean, I would have bet my life that was a Sunday nighter, but what I was told or what I had heard, CBS had the opportunity to keep 1 game on their schedule that was not allowed to be flexed out. Just another reason to go to show you what the Bills mean to ratings these days. That was the game CBS said, we're not giving that up. I don't care what you say.
Their 425 game of the week.
425 game of the week. That's CBS had the opportunity to put the lock on one of them.
Basically, the closest thing to primetime you can get is that game too. So,
well, people don't realize this actually, including myself up until.
So that game will be broadcast probably throughout the whole country unless you're local, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
if you live in Trying to think of what's a.
Well, if you live in
if you live in Houston,
market,
you're screwed.
Yeah, you're
You know what I
going to
mean?
get, but anywhere outside of an NFL market, that game will be played.
I mean, it would be a real bummer if 98% of the country got in the 4:00 game was like in the South was like, Houston, Detroit.
Well, it's whatever those two teams are,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, whatever the other two or whatever. How many 4:00 games? How many are there? Sometimes there's 5 games,
Exactly.
4 games. So yeah, there you go.
So I think that's absolutely perfect the way that lands. The bye week lands for the Bills. You get Green Bay at home, Sunday Night Football. When's the last time there was a Sunday Nighter at home? Do you know? A Sunday Nighter at home?
I don't know.
I don't think it's been in my lifetime.
Before last year, Monday night was a long.
I'm trying to think in my lifetime. Has there been a Sunday Nighter at home?
I don't know. Somebody comment if you know.
Yeah, comment if
that's a good question. I don't know.
If there has been, it just goes to show you how few there have been, if there has been any at all. That to me, and I talked to you guys about this last week, why I thought that game would be primetime. Let me know a better matchup on earth in sports than Aaron Rodgers taking on Josh Allen. I knew for a fact that would be primetime.
I'd love to see him crush Rodgers.
I think they did.
Yeah.
And once again, here I go, convincing myself and stuff. I think they destroy Green Bay. I don't know why. I think Green Bay to me this year, I don't know. Oh, that's right. Rebel Rick, Sunday night Steelers, but there was no fans. There was no fans, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
But was that game in Buffalo? Oh, there was 2 Sunday nighters, right? Back to back. One was in Pittsburgh the year before. The following year it was in Buffalo, right? But there was no fans. Am I right? That is.
If it was 2 years ago, there probably was no fans then, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good call. Good call, Rick.
Yeah.
But that just goes. I've always wanted to see Aaron Rodgers play in person. We're gonna have that opportunity, which is great. Sunday night, I think out of all the primetime games, the Sunday night feel. You know how these games have a feel? Like you legitimately physically feel the different broadcasts. And maybe I'm just insane. I don't know, but I feel a certain way during these broadcasts. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to be really weird not hearing Al Michaels on Sunday now that he's on Thursday with Kirk Herbstreit.
You know what?
It's going to be different.
For Al, what is Al? 86? God love him.
Al is dying in that chair, as he should. He's the GOAT. He is dying in the booth, he should.
You got to love him, but he's 86, right? I think.
I think you could be lowballing on that a bit.
90s?
No, I have no idea. Al's as good today as he was back there in the Miracle on Ice
days.
But
as long as he's broadcasting, you forget who the hell you're.
Kirk Herbstreit, that'll be interesting.
I don't mind Herbstreit.
I think my favorite broadcaster in the history of the sport, Brent Musburger. The voice of him Saturday Night Football. I got chills right now. I swear to God, you can see him. It was my favorite. You are looking live, and it would pan across.
Yeah.
A gigantic college stadium.
He's Raiders radio now.
Huge gambler.
Losing his mind.
Yeah,
isn't he?
He's big into the gambling. Yeah. Brent Musburger, legend. I wish they could get him into the NFL on the main stage, but he's kind of taking a step back. That's why he does the Raiders exclusively. Yeah. But that'll be a cool setup. I think Al Michaels with Herbstreit, because I think Herbstreit's good enough to make the NFL level, which he obviously has proven. So that'll be cool. But the Sunday night feel, what I'm getting at here, it's an intense feel.
Sunday night's great.
It's supposed to be the best game of the week, and that's what that is, and it's in Buffalo. I absolutely love that game fell on a Sunday night, and I'm also super stoked. Green Bay never comes to Buffalo, so this is a really cool opportunity.
Yeah.
So we're at about the halfway mark here. We're through week 8. Off the top of your head, Dad, you look at the first 7. What's like realistic best case scenario? What's realistic worst case scenario for you? Because there's no way they're going like 1-6. You know what I mean? What's the worst case scenario to you? What's best case scenario?
I like 5-2. Realistically, God, but start
5-2 seems realistic to me.
5-2 is kind of what I'm thinking. But man, you gotta beat KC.
I think. Would you agree with me that the realistic bottom barrel worst case scenario is 3-4?
Why do you always got to go to Kansas City? What the? How many times have we played in Kansas City the last?
Well, we got them in Buffalo, and we got with no fans when we got ran over.
Game.
Yeah,
it sucked. It was raining.
It sucked ass. I hated that.
I like 5-2. Worst case scenario? Well, what? Anything less than that?
I just feel 3 and 4 seems like it would be it's not happening. They're not losing 4 of the first 7.
Listen, obviously you reevaluate after every week. I mean, you lose in week 1. It just seems so much bigger this year, like you said, with the pressure, with the expectations.
Oh, it is. I mean, and then you pair that with the schedule. It's insane.
It's obviously not a must win, but
which one?
The opening game against LA.
You could really make the argument if you wanted to, because your season, and you want to know what a lot of people bring up, and I think that there's some truth to this, and I look forward to interviewing some players coming up here, and I want to talk to them about the realistic connotations when it comes to this narrative. You lose a game like you do against the Chiefs last year, and you end your year like that. I mean, there's some weight to that, whether it's large or small. There's something to that. You eradicate that off the bat, you win that game against the Rams. You know what I mean? That's why I think that game is big. There's so many ways you could hype that game up to be as big as it seems to be.
Listen, the players are going to tell you that game's forgotten.
Of course they are, but that's BS. That's BS.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'd love to get.
You're never going to forget that, but I think you can put it officially away if you come out and win.
It's a new team, blah blah blah. But you're right. That
it's a new leaf.
That
completely.
Game winning the opener does take a lot of that sting away for everybody, for the fans, for the players. I'm sure, so it's huge.
In my mind, the 2-0 scenario, this is the most confident I've ever been in my life when it comes to thinking about the Bills' realistic Super Bowl opportunity. The 2-0 would not only, it would cement that. The Bills would be the clear-cut, no BS, no one's arguing against it, Super Bowl favorites immediately. 2 primetime wins to start the year against not only the Super Bowl champion, which, by the way, this is also a funny scenario to think about. The Rams LA is filled with the most fair weather fans of all time. It's worse than New York City. LA fans, none of them are real fans. They watch the playoffs and the playoffs alone.
That's again,
but think about
real
this.
quick. That's what separates.
Of course.
Look at all the shit they do in LA. I mean, my God, I'm surprised they can
Bingo.
to show up.
But think about this.
But you're right.
They're raising the banner that night. There's probably going to be more Bills fans in that stadium than Rams fans.
Yes.
And they're raising the banner. Like people, you don't really even think about that when you consider the opening night, because you're thinking, oh, it's the Bills game. Who cares about anybody else? Who cares what the Rams got going on? They're raising the banner that night.
Yeah.
So when you really break it down, that whole situation, like to go in there and beat the Super Bowl champs on night 1 as they raise their banner, parlay that into a home opener win against a team that has gotten the best of you the last 2 years. Last year stung like hell the way they lost that Titans game. No one's arguing the Bills are not the Super Bowl favorite, clear cut. You win those 2. They're already arguing it now. There's no argument against it. You win those first 2. No question about it.
No doubt.
And you're not losing to the Dolphins the week after either. So Scott Blakely coming in. What up, Scotty? Appreciate you, my man, coming in with a super chat. More of the pressure is fan and media created. J.A. cold as ice. When it counts, McDermott won't allow heads to get ahead of themselves. I completely agree. What I'm getting at here with the whole Chiefs thing is I'm saying the narrative could be there to a degree when you lose a game like that, of course. I'm saying you eliminate any thought of that, you win that game. It's just gone. You don't even think about that anymore. It's completely gone. You know what I mean? It's completely gone. And J.A. is cold as ice. I mean, obviously that loss to the Chiefs had nothing to do with the way Josh Allen played, that's for sure. And I'm telling you, I know when you said these players will say they forgot it. Josh Allen he's one of those guys that I would firmly believe actually did forget it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's gone. Yeah. But you truly turn the new leaf over and you truly cement yourself as that Super Bowl favorite you're being coined to be right now. If you win that game, if you win those 2 games off the bat, in my opinion, I look at this. I personally see 5-2. I personally realistically see 5-2. I think 6-1 though is definitely in the realm of possibilities. But if they win those first 2, you really could consider going undefeated into the bye week if you really got down into brass tacks. But
if we're talking the 5-2, one of those 2 is the first 2 games, and it's not,
absolutely,
and it's not both of them. So where's your other loss? That That's the interesting, you know what I mean?
And you don't want to say Miami, Baltimore, and the Steelers, but it very well could be.
It's a really great first 7 games.
It really is.
You know, and I think Miami, you know, it's a divisional game. It's not the Jets. It's, you know, it's where is that? That's down there. Miami's down there, right?
Miami's in Miami. Yep.
Yeah. So
we get out of the bye. We have that awesome Sunday night matchup like we talked about a little bit ago. And then things really, really lighten up here. I mean, that's why this beginning of the year is so freaking crucial. You'll look at this, even if you get out of there 5-2, which obviously, you know, everybody in here is saying 7-0 and nobody will love it more than me. And I think that there is a possibility. I mean, like I said earlier, there is not a game on the schedule. Look at this schedule right now. The opponents on here. Vegas doesn't have the Bills as an underdog in one of these.
At Baltimore.
I know that is.
They play like shit in that stadium. Who knows? That could be a weird.
The defense also is. The Bills' defense is one of Lamar Jackson's biggest kryptonites. They have not figured out how to beat Leslie Frazier in recent years here. I mean, they have dominated the Ravens' offense. But if you get off to a hell of a start here, I mean, look at the way things lighten up here. After Green Bay, Jets, W. Vikings, sneaky tough game, but the Bills are a much better team than the Vikings. The Browns, like I said, very interesting, but if Deshaun Watson's not playing in that game, which there's high potential for that, Bills winning that game, you roll the Lions on Thanksgiving. That's why the beginning of the year is so crucial, because it lightens up here and you really start stacking wins. You really start pursuing that one seed as the schedule continues to progress here.
I mean, look after the bye. You got Green Bay and nothing. And again, you don't know from year to year, but nothing looks really scary until the Bengals game.
Well, yeah, you're right. And I look at it. Yeah, no.
Minnesota's good. That's a good.
You're right. You're right.
Be fun. Minnesota. I think Minnie will be pretty good again this year. But,
I agree. And you guys all know how I feel about the Patriots. I think Thursday night could be another. That could be another. We've seen multiple primetime situations where the Bills have destroyed the Patriots recently. A couple of years back against Cam Newton, where the Bills just absolutely went the hell off in Foxborough. And then I don't even need to bring up what the hell happened last year and how amazing that was. Thursday night, a prime opportunity for the Bills to do it again in New England. The Bills are not. I just think the gap between New England and the Bills right now is so seismic. There's no way I'd envision that. You look at after the bye, if you beat Green Bay, you could easily run the table until January. You could run the table until January.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of January, but that game.
Here's the thing, and this is what everybody does. You're looking at all these games.
I know. Yeah, like nobody looked at Jacksonville last year.
No. From the team that they were last year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So that's what the fun part of it, too, is because you don't know which one of these teams is going to be way better.
Well, if Deshaun Watson's in that game, that's a ball game.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? And the Vikings, they're just one of those teams. They're always in the game. They just love finding a way to lose it. Yeah. But that's not going to be an easy one. But the thing of it is it's so hard to look through here and find a loss when you look at these teams and and it's not even being a homer. You just look at these teams and the Bills have got a better roster than every single one of these teams. It is just the truth. It is the flat out truth. And obviously, like we've talked about any given Sunday, but it's so hard to look at this screen right now and try to convince myself where the Bills lose because I don't see it. I see it before the bye week because the Rams are an ungodly good team. To me, the Chiefs are no worse than last year. Get that narrative out of your head. Tyreek Hill being gone from this team does not drop them off like the media wants to tell you. They're just as good, if not better, I think. I think that they had a hell of a draft. They brought in an incredible wide receiver unit to add to what they already had to replace Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs are going nowhere. So, to me, those are the two toughest games of the year. You get them out of the way before the bye. And even if those are your two losses, if there are two losses in that, I mean, you get it out of the way and you could just absolutely go on a bender until Monday Night Football, the day after New Year's Day against the Bengals. I had told you last week, I had felt this game had prime time written all over it. These are two of the most explosive young offenses in the league. That's going to be a show.
That's a fun game.
I cannot wait for that one.
Well, and to see where these two teams going to be at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Right. The Bengals,
right?
to me,
I mean, that could you're lining up home field, you're lining up, you're getting positioning for the playoffs. So it's a great game. It'll be awesome.
and it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the Bengals respond to the dream year they had last year. I mean, that's so hard to replicate. They got fair. I mean, the way they won those playoff games was absurd. They could have lost every single one.
Offensive line, just
no, absolutely not.
Everything just fell their way.
No, it was a magical run.
Yeah, for sure.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that team can put up a 40 spot on you like that. I mean, Joe Burrow is as good as advertised. The offensive weapons on that team are lights out. They improved the hell out of that offensive line that we were just talking about in this offseason. That game, out of all of these, I mean, I know it's easy to say because it's the primetime one, but I told you last week that was an immediate circle for me because of the potential, offensive explosion. I look at that game and I think Rams Chiefs from a few years ago on Monday Night Football, the potential for that one, the way things, because we've seen just last year, like the games that the Bengals play the Chiefs are incredible games. We were watching it in the stands. That was when the Bills officially clinched the playoffs. Remember, we were watching the Bengals beat the Chiefs. I think it was 34-31, something like that. That's the potential there for that one. But man, I don't think I've really soaked in what the potential for the Bills could be after the bye here based on the opponents.
Actually, just sitting down and looking at it after those first 7. Yeah, I mean, it's.
I also don't think I realized how tough the beginning of the year was.
I know.
But I'm really glad that these first 2 are the first 2. I really am. And I'm really glad the Rams game's the first game. Because you know how that goes. The Bills were not the team. They were not the same team that lost to the Steelers week 1 last year. The Bills and the Chiefs and Patriots game in the playoffs was, I mean, that's apples to oranges to what they were against the Steelers week 1. So, you can't even define what the Bills will be. I think you can define them in a positive light if they win both of those, just because I think that screams like they're proving who they are. But if you lose both of them, God forbid, and they're both great games, it doesn't rule the Bills out. The media will tell you that, but it totally doesn't.
I still think it's going to take more. Like you said, the key is, are they good games? If God forbid you lose both of them, if they're tight, good games and they're in them, it's not the worst thing. I mean, you definitely don't want it to happen, but those, again, you keep harping on it. Those first 2 games are absolutely huge. You can't wait for them.
And it's funny, the schedule, it looks so tough because I feel like your eyes immediately go to the left side and look at the beginning. It really isn't. It isn't that bad after the bye. I mean, this is really just hitting me how winnable every single one of those games. Like you look at it. I'll just make a guess here. They'll be 10-point favorites against the Jets. They'll be 5.5, 6-point favorites against Minnesota. They'll be at least 3-point favorites against Cleveland, depending on who's the quarterback. I'll bet the house that they're 14.5, 15-point favorites against the Lions on Thanksgiving. They'll be 5.5, 6-point favorites against the Patriots.
I keep forgetting that Thursday night, one of them's New England. You're right.
I know. By the way, get your Amazon Prime membership. Get signed up for it if you don't have Prime.
Yeah.
I feel like not everybody realizes that yet.
Yeah.
That's not on TV.
But
it's pretty crazy how things are switching up like
the opener's NBC.
NBC for the opener.
Yes.
Yep.
But everything after that is Amazon.
Amazon exclusively.
Yeah.
So last year, Fox paid $600 million, I think, for the Thursday night rights. Amazon paid $1 billion.
It's insane.
Because the NFL knew they're going to lose ratings pretty badly because it's not on standard cable. But this is where the league is going, of course.
But people will pick up Amazon.
Yeah, well, of course.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think in this, and listen, it'll be interesting to see 5 years down the line what we're paying for. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Paramount Plus will have one. HBO Max will have a game. Netflix will have the Super Bowl. No, it's true.
They'll go Tuesday night games. Yeah. And so,
well, we've talked about this because I remember you and I got in a big argument about this because you didn't see the vision when I told you. I'm telling you, there's going to be like 9 different broadcasts, and now you're coming around to it.
I'm not coming around to it. I don't like it, but I see that's where it's heading. Because they're not going to put sponsors. They're not going to wear them on their jerseys. They're not going to allow corporate, they're not going to have.
I hope they don't do that. The MLB is going to.
They won't do it.
Well, you would think the MLB would never do it, and they're doing it next year. One team is. The NBA is already doing it. I would hate that so much.
Hate that.
Unless like Duff's put their logo on the bill, I'm fine with that. Or not Duff's, Bar Bill, excuse me.
Bar Bill we got coming.
Or the Wegmans logo wouldn't be half
There's
bad.
a Bar Bill coming. Oh, somebody blew. Bar Bill is coming.
You think I'm sweating now? Wait till that Bar Bill opens in Rochester. It's game
5 minutes
over.
down
I
the
won't be
road.
able to fit through the door by the time that thing opens up. All right, so yeah, and then you end the year with New England. The potential for that game to get flexed in, although I guarantee you it won't, because I guarantee you New England is not in a win-and-in situation in the final week. Sorry, don't see it. Just don't see it. But I'll tell you what, there could be some massive playoff implications in that second to last game against the Bengals. Massive. I think the Bills will be playing for the 1 seed at that point, and the Bengals will definitely be playing for a seed in general. It just depends on where they're at in the season, but that's going to be a really big game as far as playoff implications are concerned. But all right, so we've gone through it here. The 5 primetime games. Which primetime game, in your opinion, do you think, when you look at all 5 of them, that the Bills have the most likely chance to get out of there with an L? When you look at the 5, which one do you see that the Bills might have the most struggle with out of the 5? Or do you think that there's potential?
Well, it's so hard.
They're so good
it's
in
so
primetime.
hard right now, which is great, because typically we're used to going into every game thinking they're going to lose. So now, I mean, my mindset has changed so much. At Tennessee, right?
Mine's the Bengals. I don't know why. I think the
Bengals is too far down the line there. Yeah, for
you're
sure.
right. But as I look at it right
as I'm running them down right now, I really see them winning the opener.
So do I. I really do. I
see him beating Tennessee, but it wouldn't shock me if it was like last year, where it was a battle.
I don't trust Tennessee this year. I don't know why.
I don't either, but it's just something about, I don't know. It's that stadium. It's that I still see that. It's that freaking helmet. It still throws me. But you were what, 2 years old, I think.
Who's your sneaky loss potentially throughout the whole year? Mine's Minnesota.
Unexpected loss.
Yes, mine's Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Once again, though, back
Chicago should not be a problem in Chicago. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
It is so hard to sit here and try to convince myself where they lose, because obviously it's going to happen at some point, but you don't look at any of these
and you don't know because it's so, this is so much easier to do when you're 3 or 4 weeks in and then looking at the schedule, looking at, all right, what do you see now? Looking ahead. I mean, right now you just don't know where everybody's at because you're just basing everything on last year. Buffalo's going to be better. I don't know if LA is any better. Right?
They're about
is
the
Donald
same.
Coming back? I mean, there's rumors.
You mean OBJ?
No, for LA.
Aaron Donald?
There's rumors of him retiring.
Oh, that was back during the Super Bowl. No, there was also rumors Sean McVay
They were just talking to McVay about it at the schedule release. I don't know. I didn't hear anything else about it.
That would be it. That would be like Andrew Luck level shot.
So you lose Miller, and I don't think he's going to, but they brought it up to McVay. They were talking to him.
Well, either way, I mean,
he gave the PC answer, but
well, you know what? One of the greatest games in recent years for the Bills was that game against the Rams, where they came down and won, and they got a really favorable. Remember the pass interference? The Bills were up 28-3. They blew I forget what the score was. They blew the entire thing. And they had that incredible final drive. They shouldn't have won. They got an awful call that went their way, and they won it. That was the last time the Bills played the Rams. It was a great game.
It was in Buffalo.
Yeah, that was in Buffalo. Yeah. No fans. It was early on in the COVID year.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, God, I do remember it was an awful call, but we'll take it.
Realistically, I look at this schedule. I look at how the Bills have improved this year. I'm going to give 2 scenarios. If the Bills start out 2-0 on the year here, if they come out of the gates and start 2-0, 14-3 to me on this schedule. If the Bills start 2-0, and I also think worst case scenario here, is right around what they were last year, 11-6. Absolute bottom barrel worst case. And they would have to have a game like Jacksonville last year where they're overwhelming favorites and they just drop the ball.
If they're healthy and everything goes right, I don't see it. I mean, I see maybe 4 losses in there.
And it's got 1 seed written all over it.
I think what we're saying, folks, is those first 2 games are critical.
They're everything.
They're critical. And it's so cool that those first 2 games are that critical because it starts out the year with so much anticipation, so much hype. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I want to imagine this.
When's training camp?
The whole thing isn't soon enough. Just imagine this. The Bills come out, and I mean, they just wreck the Rams. I mean, I don't even want to we can't do it. We can't go down that route. All I'm saying is I don't think I've ever been more excited for a season to start than this one. And I already was, but now that you look at the way the schedule is panned out.
Yeah, just sit and you sit and you look at the schedule, you skim it. But when you sit here and actually break it down and talk about it and look at it, and those first 7 games are great. They're awesome. Hopefully Miami's one where you can, kind of breathe easy, but I don't know. Miami will be I think by week 3 we'll know, holy shit, look out for Miami, or it's Miami.
If I say that, I might need to just throw all my equipment out.
Well, 2 is the X factor where if he somehow.
Did you see that video he put up the other day where he was throwing a ball that punt God would have been able to get to Tyreek Hill faster?
I heard he had to slow down to get it. I didn't see it.
And God bless the poor social media kid from Miami. But it was the worst thing you could have possibly imagined.
I heard there was music and everything.
I quote tweeted it and said that ball was fielded like a punt. It got 1,000 likes. And it was from every fan base on earth because everybody watched that video and said,
they were talking
this
about
is brutal.
And he had to slow down and he had to try to edit it with music. And
they slow-mowed the ball in the air and Tyreek Hill had to turn around and field it.
He's going to work with some guru over the summer and he'll be, but until you get somebody in there who can get him the ball, you're right. Tua has proven he can't do it until,
Let's get the Q here. Q's going to the game in Baltimore. I got tickets to the October 2nd game. Awesome stuff. That is a hell of a, I know we always, our fan base is as good as it gets. Baltimore's fan base is wild. They're a crazy fan base. The bank is cool. We've been there, but we've never been in there. But it's cool, Q. I don't know if you've ever been there before, but Camden Yards right next door. Just a cool area around there in general. Baltimore's cool. Awesome stuff, Q. You're going to love that game. And then I shout out Jeremy. No comment, but he's coming in with a super chat anyways. And we appreciate you, Jeremy. Love that.
Work. It's easy.
Yeah. So, and I wanted to address something I saw someone saying here. First 2 games aren't deciding anything. Sheesh. No one's saying they're deciding the season. The season doesn't end after 2 games. But just think about the pendulum swing that 2 games creates either way. Whether you split it down the middle, you win both or lose both, I think that it has a ripple effect to some degree. You can't say that doesn't decide anything. If they win both those games, the confidence level is so through the moon. I mean, to me, there's a lot that goes into those 2 games.
Could they win those first 2 games and then crap the bet?
Yeah, of course.
But
I wouldn't put my money on it.
They're 2 key prime time, especially the first game. So to say they don't decide anything, obviously they don't, but they're just the potential of winning both of those really, really, like you said, just puts them. And is that in our eyes as fans? Sure. Right.
What's that?
Winning those first 2 games. Going 2-0.
Well, I'm realistic.
I also think it does build. I mean, listen, these guys are confident to begin with. They're professional athletes, but I think you win those first 2, you win them, maybe one of them convincingly. Hey man, confidence is everything.
Yeah. So that's the schedule, and I'm freaking pumped as hell about it. I cannot freaking wait. I mean, I can't wait. And the week 1 is just the cherry on top. We are every year. You can't wait, but that to me puts it on a whole other pedestal. I mean, a whole other level. Can't wait. My way too early prediction. Man, I'm so bad at being. You know what? I'm gonna give myself a buffer. I'm gonna say 13-4. That's my buffer. Way too early prediction. Looking at that schedule,
great. I like it.
13-4. That's what I'm gonna go with my way too early prediction. I have the right, reserve the right to change things before the season starts. But that is where I'm at right now. Where are you at?
I'm gonna go 14-3.
Man. And you gotta understand. I mean, for him to say that is like you should really take don't take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I mean, you think I can get negative sometimes when we lose. I mean, that right here, it's next level. So that's a.
I don't know.
You're bought in, man.
This has got to be the year.
If not now, when?
This has got to be the year. I think this year, as long as corner works out, corner spot scares me a little bit.
Elam? Oh, I mean, if he is who they drafted him to be.
The way they play that zone, I think they'll be able to figure it out. But I just think they're better than everybody. And they'll stumble a few times for sure. Everybody does. But I really think they're better right now. They're better than everybody.
What do you think about Joe saying that Baker's coming into Buffalo and getting the W?
Wouldn't that be nice?
On November 20th. That would be interesting.
Baker's taking the Bills now.
Tell you what, Joe, if Baker makes a single start this year for the Browns, DM me on Twitter. I'll buy you 2 tickets. How's that?
Don't say it.
Swear to God, I will. I promise you. Joe, DM me on Twitter. If Baker Mayfield makes a single start, I will buy you 2 tickets to the game. My treat, the Bills game. You can sit next to us. You can sit next to us and enjoy a nice L. You can enjoy the L with us on me.
Got something. He just taped that. Joe's got something to look forward to now. All right.
Oh, wait, Joe's saying Baker's going to play for the Bills. All right, now Joe's just all over the place. All right, I recant my statement.
To Buffalo?
I have no idea.
All right, well,
I have no idea.
I don't think.
I mean, I think Josh Allen would actually have to go missing. I mean, you'd have to file an FBI report in order for Baker Mayfield to start.
McDermott
for the
doesn't
Bills.
want Mayfield.
All right, so that's the schedule. A couple other things I want to touch on here. We're an hour and a half in. That cooked by. That's great. That's the schedule, and we'll talk more about that, of course, as the offseason progresses. Now, a couple more things that I wanted to talk about. One in particular, real quick, that came out yesterday that I wanted to just touch on because I think it's very interesting. Drew Brees hangs it up last year, and it just felt like he didn't want to, and he did anyway. Sean Payton retired with him, and I don't know, man. It's just the whole thing. Drew Brees just didn't seem like he was ready to leave, but he did anyway. Goes to NBC to do broadcasting, and it's over. NBC comes out yesterday saying that Drew Brees is not going to be on the broadcast team for NBC next year. Drew Brees responds to this on Twitter saying that everything's open at this point. He said he could be doing broadcasting. He said he could be coming back to football. He said he could be joining a pickleball team. So there was a little bit of sarcasm in there, but I took that pretty seriously.
Man, he can still play, no doubt.
Drew Brees.
I love Drew Brees, but
the reason I want to bring this up, though, would it not be the absolute cherry on top of the greatest offseason in the history of the NFL if Drew Brees also came out of retirement with Tom Brady? I think the whole thing would. And then if Drew Brees came back and beat Brady.
We were going every day. There was a story.
Every hour of every day. I mean, it was insane. Insane.
Brees coming back. Why not?
It could be cool.
I think it'd be great.
I don't rule it out. I don't rule it out. I just think his heart's still there.
Coming back to New Orleans? I mean,
I don't know.
It'd take him in a minute. I don't know without Peyton there. I don't know.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't see him going to another team.
He definitely is not on the he's done. He's not on the broadcast.
Johnny coming in here with a good point. Can we get a Buffalo Fanatics tailgate party at a game? We are nothing set in stone. We're working on that. We weren't able to do it the last couple of years, but we're working on that. We want to get everybody up. Rico, Pierre, myself, Rev, everybody we can, and then all you guys. We are freaking working on that. Obviously, as the season gets closer, we will keep you updated on that. But that is a big goal of ours to do. So that's a great point you bring up, and we have plenty of awesome games to choose from if we wind up getting the chance to do that. I shouldn't even say getting the chance. We're definitely going to try and do it. Just depends on when. Who's going to be able to come and whatnot. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about, speaking of broadcasting and retiring and whatever else, I can't even wrap my mind around it. Tom Brady just signed the most lucrative broadcasting deal in the history of media. Yeah. One, he's not retired. Two, he's never called a game or analyzed a game on television in his entire life. And Fox said, we don't care. Here's 10 years and $360+ million. What was your initial thoughts when you saw that you'd have to watch Brady in the booth for the next decade?
I'm not happy about it. See, listen, when Brady left and went to Tampa, you you were like, fine. I still cringe.
He just got so much more likable, and it pissed me off, but I wound up just not caring after a while.
It's no.
See, here's the thing, because
now, even when he does finally retire, now I gotta watch him in the booth forever till he's 70.
But right, you and I both, for whatever, and I think back on it, I don't know why. I think it's just because we hate the Cowboys. You and I both never liked Romo, and I look back and I don't know why. I love Tony Romo. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying I'm going to love Tom Brady, but I'm going to say it'll be a lot easier to swallow if he's good, you know?
Romo is growing on me over the last couple of years.
Oh, I love
him and Nance, right? They've grown on me.
This is an insane get, though. I mean, Tom Brady, did you ever think he'd be calling games? It just seems like something. First of all, what this shows you, he's going to be a sports billionaire. And to put that into perspective, I mean, that is incredibly rare. You think these guys make more money than you know what to do with, but a billionaire, a B, that's not achieved very often. You either have to be an international soccer star, LeBron James, or now Tom Brady. I think he will wind up being the first football billionaire, Tom Brady. And this deal to me is shocking because he has several businesses, and it just seemed like he was going to be able to do whatever he wants, including all those rumors about him potentially being partial owner of the Dolphins. I think that Fox just looked at it and said, listen, here's the blank check. We don't care. And there's no way Tom Brady could say no.
And all the rumors of him going next year, going down to Miami.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Which
what was he seeing?
That would be ultimate. That would be just the ultimate.
Or whatever it was. So who knows with this guy? God,
I'll tell you what. It's going to be weirder than hell. Weirder than hell.
I don't like it.
Here's somebody brought, I think I was listening to Mike Florio the other day, and I forget if it was him who brought it up or somebody who was on with, but it made me think of this. So Tom Brady, if you haven't heard, signed that deal, 10 years. And I believe who came in here and said it? Johnny Marlowe came in and said $375 million. It's insane. It's the most lucrative deal in the history of broadcasting, and he's never called a game. It's wild. But the contract starts when he retires. Now, to me, this kind of tells me this is it for Brady. This is the last year. I don't think Fox and him, it's got to be an unwritten, it's got to be an under the table type thing. I would think that's just kind of how it seems to me. It's not certain, but it's just kind of how it seems.
The timing of it was weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Imagine this, because they were talking about how, because Fox has the Super Bowl this year. Imagine this would just be the most ultimate vengeance in the history of everything. Yeah. Imagine the Bucs lose in the wild card. And Fox wants to get a head start on things. They bring Brady into the booth, and the Bills are playing in the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. And Brady's got to call it.
They're in the Super Bowl.
Oh, you mean the Bills beating the Bucs?
No. The Bucs make it to the Super Bowl, and Brady's doing the dual quarterback /
So he's got the mic on while he's playing?
He's got the mic while he's playing, right?
And he's got to talk about how the Bills are just waxing them.
The Bills are waxing their ass.
But imagine the Bucs get bounced in the playoffs and they got to call the Bills Super Bowl.
Then I would love it.
Oh, yeah. But I'll tell you, I wanted to talk about it a bit because it's a wild. I mean, I love broadcasting. Like I told you, I get these weird feelings about the different broadcasts. I don't know why. I've always been obsessed with it. It's a major feat. It's a major get. And who's coming in here? Somebody asked a good question. Brendan coming in here saying, who would go well with Brady? Well, it's going to be Kevin Burkhardt. He's now the number one voice of Fox. And that's interesting, too, because he's never been the number one analyst. All these other guys that we have, Joe Buck's still's there. It's going to be Tirico, which we're used to a certain degree at this point, and Al Michaels Thursday night. So it's going to be Kevin Burkhardt. It's going to be an odd dynamic. And what people keep bringing up is, and this is more your time. I don't know if I was even alive for this yet, but Joe Montana was a analyst for a bit, and he was considered to be one of the worst broadcasters in the history of the sport.
I don't even remember, to be honest.
And that's probably why, because he was
John Madden. The way Madden started too, though. I remember we watched that documentary. He sucked.
Yeah, and then he became the face of broadcasting
because he just tried to be
himself. He was trying to be somebody else. He
acted himself, and he changed the whole. Yep. He changed everything in broadcast. He just was like, you know what? Hey, he brought in the Telecaster and everything. But his first few years, he was not good. because he thought he had to be scripted.
Right.
So
the one thing I'll say is Brady's never been bad at a single thing he's done in his life. There's potential for him to be unbelievable. And I hope he is. It's better for us. We don't want him to suck. It won't be fun to watch.
I want him to suck bad.
I don't want him to suck.
Yeah, no,
I want him to be good and really just break
Brady
down.
To suck.
Imagine he's calling the game and he's like, "Look, I see Josh Allen. I think he's got the potential to be better than me someday." And we're just sitting there like
I think Romo
pitching a tent.
What got me?
Brady just hyping up Josh Allen.
What got me is Romo.
Scotty, by the way,
what is it?
Worst of all time, by the way.
Yeah,
just wanted to say that.
He was bad. And Booger wasn't good.
Booger's a legend.
I didn't like Booger. I like
He's
him.
a Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
It was good. It was
Calvin Benjamin.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome.
That was back in the Booger Mobile days when he would go around the sideline and he would block everybody's view.
No, Booger was on there.
He's in Buffalo in the Pope Mobile calling Calvin Benjamin obese.
He was wheeling back and forth, getting in everybody's way. They were throwing shit.
Yeah. People were paying like $1,000 for lower bowl tickets. Booger McFarland's in their way.
Booger, get out of the way.
I think Booger. See, at least Booger's hilarious. Jason Witten looked like
Booger as an analyst was bad. Other than
it was bad. It was really bad. Jason Witten, though, it looked like he won a contest and he got to be put in there, and he just started crapping his pants. Yeah. And then he went back. He went and said, "Hey, I'm going to go play again." That's how bad it is.
Screw it.
Yeah.
But look at what the Mannings are doing. I mean, I've watched.
Well, that's what I
watched some of that. I mean, people love it. It's okay. I mean, it's different, but that's kind of cool. It's those guys are just hanging out. They're talking. The two of them are talking, and they're getting.
Well, what I hope this does.
That was a pretty cool concept.
Well, what I hope this does, I hope Peyton saw that check Brady got and said, I can't say no to that. And I hope somebody throws, because I've been Peyton Manning, if once he gets in the booth, he will immediately be the greatest ever.
Yeah, but they offered him some. Didn't they offer him Monday night?
Do you think it was that much? I mean, that number is so absurd.
Listen, the guy's got a ton of money, but I think he'd be a freaking natural, no doubt. But Brady will be interesting to see how it goes. I just hope he sucks.
We'll see. I
want Brady to fail. Sorry.
Well, the problem with wanting him to fail is that it would just when you watch, like when we're talking about Witten and stuff, when you watch games with bad analysts, it just kind of blows.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that, to me, a crazy story. I think it indicates this could be Brady's last year. I also think it's hilariously interesting to think about Brady calling Bills games, and it's just like how the full circle has come. He's in the booth. The Bills are now the East champs.
With Brady is every single thing will relate back to when Tom played. Well, Tom, what do you? And I got to hear that shit over and over.
You know how Joe Buck always refers to Troy Aikman as the Hall of Famer. Yeah, Kevin Burkhardt will be like, and it's the GOAT. That'll be the intro. That's actually one of the first things I thought of too, is because Joe Buck always says, and that's the Hall of Famer with Troy Aikman.
Yes.
And Kevin Burkhardt is going to refer to Brady as the GOAT, I'm guessing, every single time they get on there. And that's going to piss me off. I also, and you refuse to watch it, but I watched Man in the Arena. I enjoyed it. You refused to watch it. I enjoyed it.
I watched whatever that crap was he had out he had something a couple of years ago where it showed him training in the offseason, him and Edelman, and I don't know why, he was on some compound somewhere.
I dislike Edelman more than I think I dislike Brady.
So
it goes like 1A is Gronk, 1B is Edelman, and then Brady going to Tampa kind of saved it a little bit for me. The other two, I don't know what it is. At least with Brady, you can't really pinpoint anything about his personality. It's just the fact that he owned us for so long.
That's the only reason.
It's the only reason.
If I wasn't a Bills fan, I'd probably I was a Knicks fan back in the day. I hated
Jordan.
I hated. So it's you respect these guys for what they do and who they are. No doubt. But man,
you know what's weird about this? Could you imagine LeBron calling basketball games on ESPN? You couldn't imagine it. This is what this is. That's why this is pretty nuts to me. You couldn't imagine Michael Jordan and LeBron James calling an NBA game on TNT.
NFL's different. These guys,
well, it goes to show you how big it's getting. It's just everything. And that's why it just could go to another stratosphere. So wild stuff. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about tonight, or was that it? Did I have something else?
I don't know, man. It's like 10:15, dude. We've been cranking here.
It is 10:15. You know what that means? Better Call Saul is on tonight, and the mid-season finales next week. I gotta watch that.
You started watching Saul.
Well, you and I watched it together, and then they went on a 2-year hiatus. Bob Odenkirk got sick, so they had to table it. It was COVID, and then he was sick, so a 2-year break. He had a heart attack on set. Saul, Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, he did?
Right on set.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, they're killing it. I've had some people reach out to me saying, I'm glad you brought it up because I love the show.
Listen,
it's amazing.
There's so much. That show is so well produced. It's awesome. There's so much going on in that show. It'll blow your mind, though. Sometimes there's you know what I mean? All the storylines kicking in, going over. And
I forgot about this. Do you remember this? I vaguely remember this now.
Kelly was
bad.
Yeah.
I've seen some clips.
Did he do? I don't think he was in the booth, though. I think he did some studio stuff. He was bad.
You know who's great is Tasker. Tasker was doing games that wasn't even related to the Bills before he got onto
Tasker was awesome. Yeah.
He was great.
Yep.
Tasker was a sideline reporter for CBS for a long time before he took over One Bills Live.
He was in the booth. He was, and I think it's awesome what he's doing.
He's way better than
locally, but he was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's way better than Kelso too.
Kelly was bad. Anything Kelly did.
Well, Kelso on the radio too with
it was not that good.
No, I think Tasker's much better.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. So I kept saying end of the month, big time stuff coming your way. I'm excited. I don't want to say exactly what it is because I'm excited next week to talk all about it. And I kind of want to keep the cards close to the vest. But I got awesome stuff to get out your way next Monday night. So you have to tune in next Monday night. Next Monday night, a must watch smoke break because I have some next level stuff coming your way next Monday night. But I will say the one thing I will reveal about next week that I'm insanely excited about. There's a certain guy coming to town next week that you guys might know. You might tune in and watch him from time to time on this very YouTube channel. The man himself, Rico, he's coming up to Rochester and staying with your boy next week. I'm putting Rico up in the studio, the newly renovated studio. We got to get Rico a cot. Right? He goes, "Is there a cot in there?" I go, "You wish."
What did he say?
He goes, "You got a cot in that studio?" I go, "You wish." Rico's getting the air mattress. He's lucky. I hope
Rico's sleeping on the floor.
Well, I told Rico, I said, I don't know if you slept on cold gravel because my studio, it isn't even like it's like gravel. How would you describe it? It's stone.
Yeah, it's concrete.
I won't make Rico do stone. Maybe we lay down a couple blankets for him.
Put down some blankets for sure. Maybe a sleeping bag.
Maybe
a pillow, one pillow. You got to hook Rico up. You got to get it something.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, he may or may not be on the floor, Rico, but he is coming to Rochester next week. Because me and him got some big stuff in the works next Monday. Crazy thing here. And, I feel like I've known Rico my whole life. You feel like you know what I mean? I've never met Rico in person. And I remember back in the day when Judge and Tilt, because the Judge and Tilt were on Fanatics for a while before I was. I remember I was on a show with them once and they were just talking about how they never met each other. And I remember it blew my mind. There's got to be people though that
you guys did a golf tournament.
Yeah. So
and you guys all met.
Pierre and of course we all.
But Rico didn't go to that. Right?
Well, he couldn't make it. Well, what was so cool about that golf tournament is you show up and you meet everybody in person. And it's so weird. The internet is so weird because everybody so well. You meet in person. You are meeting for the first time, but you're absolutely not. So you meet people in person. And there's no introduction. Like I can't even describe it. Everybody so well. You meet them. It's weird.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
But to actually, physically be, the same.
Oh, I know. It's wild.
That'll be awesome. You guys got a great.
Yeah.
All you guys got a great dynamic together. You do an awesome job.
But so part of the big. I don't even know why I'm keeping it a secret because Rico might just say what it is. I really don't know why I'm keeping it a secret. I just want to make next week fun.
Well, then
keep
it a secret.
I'm keeping it a secret. I like surprises. I like surprises, and I think next Monday is going to be fun as hell. But the one thing I wanted to reveal, which I think is freaking awesome, Rico flying in from damn Nova Scotia up here.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's flying. He's flying into Buffalo, or I don't know where he's flying into somewhere. And he's driving up here, and we're getting after our schedule. But I just want to put that out there because I'm so stoked. Rico and I in the same location.
Nice.
And we got some wild stuff coming your way next Monday. So do not miss it. Next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Smoke Break on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. That's going to be, they're all must-see TV. You know that, Dad. They're all must-see internet series, of course.
No doubt.
But if you have to see one, next Monday is the one. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you don't already. I don't know what you're doing, but get over there at ZachB22. When Rico lands, we're going nuts. And I know all you guys were wondering. And this is the first thing Rico said to me. I know you guys were wondering. Yes, Rico and I, we're going to Arby's. Rico and I are going to Arby's.
Yeah.
Me and Rico, I don't know what happened. I was roasting Arby's boneless wings during the draft, and I've all of a sudden become the unofficial spokesperson for Arby's. I don't know how that happened, but I'm thinking
you haven't tried the Arby's.
Well, I have self-respect. I'm not eating the. I'm not. Well, I actually don't. I don't have self-respect.
Why does everybody got to dabble? Why do they need the boneless wings? Arby's has the meats, the roast beef.
And as we
Stay
know,
with the roast beef. I don't get why you got to go into the boneless wings.
Well, as we know, there's no more fraudulent meal on the face of the earth than boneless wings. Boneless wings it's fraud.
Listen, if they didn't taste so
culinary fraud.
Good, but you're right.
Yeah, it's culinary fraud.
Yeah.
If you're with somebody that orders boneless wings over normal wings when you're out at a restaurant, get out of there.
I totally got to agree with it.
Go, because that person's capable of. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be near him. I don't want to be near him.
So.
Sorry.
Let's picture this first date, right? First date, Carol. You and Carol are out first.
Thank God my girlfriend's vegan. She won't even have to do this to me.
She's not vegan, right? So you're on the first date and you're at.
She orders boneless wings with ranch. I got to go to the bathroom.
Is that a deal breaker?
My fat ass is sneaking out of the window in the stall.
So you're done.
I'm out. You go on a first date and that person orders boneless wings with ranch. You don't have a future with that person. You can't. Next Monday, must-see TV. Follow me on Twitter. Arby's Reviews with Rico, live and in person, coming your way. Thanks for tuning in tonight. You guys are the best. We appreciate it. Thank you to you for hopping on.
Listen, thanks for having me, kid.
Shout out, Pete.
My boy. Right.
And hey, by the way, sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. I don't think you realize how much that pisses me off, and that's why I was sweating profusely. So I just wanted to apologize again. I hate that shit. You guys you deserve better. I just wanted to apologize again. Also, sorry for the one. I don't know why I'm rambling here. Follow me on Twitter. Arby's Reviews coming soon next Monday night. Must see TV. Smoke break. See you then. 8 p.m. Monday night next week. Cool stuff in store. And as always, go Bills. I love this tune. It's my favorite. I know I'm still on air here. I just want everybody to know. Somebody messaged me yesterday and said this song gives them 80s porn vibes, and
it does.
It made me laugh my ass off.
It could be 70s.
Go Bills. Peace.
Go Bills.
It does. I guess
the guy.